Hello, everyone. I'm here with Alan Martins. Okay, he's an EFL teacher, ESL teacher as well, and Alan lives in the UK now, right, Alan? He's been living there
Yes,
for a while now, right?
yes, been 5.5 years.
Right. And Alan is Cambridge Delta holder, and he's got an MA in TESOL by Sheffield University, Sheffield Hallam.
Yeah, Sheffield Hallam. Mhm.
University. And you're also a teacher trainer and a course designer, right, Alan?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. And thank you so much for
It's a pleasure.
finding availability to have this interview with me. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
So, Alan, can you tell me, yeah, where are you currently working, and which is your teaching context right now?
Yeah, I'm in the south of the UK, actually southwest. I'm in Bournemouth, and I've been here for 5.5 years, and I work for a language school in the morning, so teaching approximately 15 to 20 hours a week. Obviously, it gets to more than 30 during the summer. And I'm doing a lot of freelance work as well, writing courses, mostly practice tests,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been designing online courses as well for a couple of schools. So I want to always be in a learning curve, and I like doing different things. I don't ever think about leaving the classroom because I am teacher above everything else. But yes, but it's good to do different things as well.
Mm-hmm. Great. And how long have you been a teacher?
Phew.
Back in Brazil, right?
Uh, yes, officially I am 38 next week. So officially I've been a teacher for the past 16 years. But when I came to London as a 19-year-old, I did spend a year in Italy without the CELTA or
Mm-hmm.
anything, teaching as well. But I like to see myself as a teacher from the day I got the CELTA.
Right. Okay. But did you start back in Brazil or just when you went to
My first
Italy?
job, no, my first job was in Italy.
All right.
I was here in the UK, and for various reasons, I ended up in Italy. And I was pretty young. I was 20. The only thing I could do was speak English, and then I thought, well,
Why
why
not?
not? Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, and I got a job in one of those. It was a school called In Lingua in Rome, in Italy, and they had a very specific method. It's a mixture of audiolingualism with direct methods. Like, so we had to demonstrate everything. So we had to bring apples
Mm-hmm.
and into the classroom and everything else. I learned a lot. It was quite good. I'm not going to tell you that that's when I fell in love with teaching. It wasn't. But yeah, but that was my first job.
Right. And where are you from in Brazil? Just
I'm
out of
from São
curiosity.
Paulo.
From São Paulo, right? And you
Yeah, I was.
mentioned
Yeah.
something interesting. So you didn't fall in love at that time in
hmm
Italy. When did you fall in love with teaching?
It was when I went back to Brazil. It was just after Italy, because same old story. I was 21. I got back to Brazil. I thought, oh, okay, I need a job. What can I do? Well, the only decent job I've ever had in my life was teaching English in Italy. So I'm going to do some teaching. And then I ended up in Wizard,
Right.
and I worked for them for a whole year. And then I went to a small local school in Alphaville, which is
Mm-hmm.
the outskirts of São Paulo. And that was the first time ever I could actually plan lessons and decide what I wanted to do in class. So when I tell you I've been a teacher for X number of years, I usually start counting from that period.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. And right. So why did you decide to move to the UK? Because you've been living there for over 5 years, right?
Yeah, I mean now or the first time I
The
came
first
here.
time, actually. Sorry, the first time.
Well, it's one of those. Probably heard this story a million times. I finished my sixth form. I was 17. I was going to go to uni, but I thought I was a bit too young. I was
Mm-hmm.
preparing for the Cambridge Advanced, former CAE,
Mm-hmm.
and then I thought, well, instead of spending the next year at Coutura, because I almost spent half my life at either Celeb or Coutura, so I thought, well, I'm just gonna go to London, spend 3 months international house, do something different, and take the advanced. 3 months turned into 3 years,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, and that was it. And then I went back to I went to Italy, and
Mm-hmm.
then went back to Brazil. But yeah,
Right.
it was all good experience. It was everything new. Had never left the country until then, and yeah, yeah, had a great time in London.
And which course did you take there and at the International House?
Um, I took for the first 3 months. I took the prep course for the CAE.
All right. As a
Uh,
learner, right? As a learner,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, as a learner,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
and then proficiency.
Mm-hmm. Great. And how do you see the non-native speakers, teachers there in the UK?
Oh yeah,
As you
absolutely.
being a non-native speaker, how do you see the market there, the people's attitudes?
I think the attitude is I say good. Okay, not more than this, but I was quite surprised. There are many of us here. For example, at both schools I worked for here in those 5 years, I'd say I came across at least 10 or maybe more
Mm-hmm.
non-native teachers, which is a good number since I've always worked for small schools. And so yeah, so the market is okay. Obviously, um, it, being a non-native speaker in the UK and applying for jobs as an English language teacher, you will not always get the best feedback from agents abroad. So the schools, even though you're overqualified, sometimes they try to.
Mm,
I don't know. I don't want you to use the verb hide, but they try to omit the
I
fact that
see.
you are
A
a
non-native.
non-native speaker.
Mm.
So it's always, oh, Alan is Brazilian, but with a
There's
big
always a
but, he's
but.
been in
Oh,
the UK for next number of years, and he's got
uh-huh.
this piece of paper, and he's got that piece of paper, and
Mm-hmm.
certificates and diplomas. So yes, it's a bit taboo to
I
talk about it.
see. But that's more from agents, you said. How
Yes,
about like
exactly.
recruiters, schools,
Uh,
directors?
uh, never had anything work. We did have the occasional awkward look during the teacher training sessions. Okay,
Oh.
so we've got British wannabe teachers who are going to be trained by a non-native
Mm.
speaker, and yeah, so we had a couple of situations, a couple of emails when uh, students, trainees, kindly asked if the center was sure I was qualified for the job, but nothing serious. I'm not complaining.
I
I'm not
see.
complaining. I thought it'd be
Mm-hmm.
much harder.
Mm-hmm. I see. And tell us more about the Delta. You've done your Delta, yeah? When was that?
Yeah. Well,
Was it a long time ago?
not really. No, no, no. It was I came here March 2011, so it was October that year. So October 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and I did it part time. So I took the
Mm-hmm.
whole year.
Was it a turning point in your career, do you think?
Absolutely. Yes, yes. I'm not, and I'm not even. I'm not talking about job opportunities or anything
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not. I'm in a very small town. So I didn't do the Delta because I thought I'd get the Delta and get a top job, best job in the world here. Because no, that was never the plan. But yes, absolutely. It takes you to the next level. The Celta is great. It's an amazing course. Okay, I even told you in the beginning of the interview that this is where everything started for me. But the Delta is something else. It just takes you to the next level. During the Celta, you learn what to do, and during the Delta is when you start to understand why you're doing what you're doing, and how to help other people and how to share this with other people. So yes. It could be the center where I took it. It could be the tutors. I don't know, but it was an incredible experience.
Which center did you
It's
go to?
it's ITTC, and it's International Teaching and Training Center here in Bournemouth. And my tutors were Kirsty Sharples and Anna. They were excellent.
I think I've seen, I've come across this center in my research. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would recommend it,
they're
right?
in Bournemouth, and they run full time. They run, I think, 14 or 15 full time Celtas a year, and 2 Deltas. And we're talking about Bournemouth. It's a town with about approximately 200,000 people only.
Oh, that's so small compared to our Brazilian cities. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, they're pretty big, and they do a great job.
That's fantastic. Good to know. And you've also done your MA in TESOL, online learning, right?
Yes.
Did it meet your expectations? What was it like?
Yes and no. Okay, I would say.
Tell me more about that.
No, I would say no because I think there's a big difference between distant learning and online learning. So things like webinars and human interaction, like we're doing now on Skype or whatever platform you use. If you're using Google Hangouts, it doesn't matter. But being able to talk to people all the time helps. I had no idea how interpersonal I was until I started this course. And yes, even though the online library was excellent, we had access to loads of books and journals and everything. And whenever we couldn't find one of the books, they would send you the book, and you could keep the book for a week and then send it back to them. It was all brilliant, but I really missed being able not to talk to the tutors, because we had a monthly we had chats, informal chats and everything, but I missed other people, other learners to share my views and to talk about my project. And I ended up doing this with some of my colleagues, which helped me a lot to brainstorm ideas and things. But that is something that I missed. So it's nothing to do with
interaction, right? Interaction.
Yes, exactly. Because you read a lot about now doing the distant Celta, now they're doing the Delta. But I missed being next to people during the input.
I see.
So, but that is obviously a personal thing. You had a lot of people, a lot of teachers who are very intrapersonal and would benefit even more from courses like this. It was more a personal thing, really. But nothing to do with the university. It was, as I said, the support was great, and my tutors were excellent, but it's something I missed.
And how did it meet your expectations? Because you said that yes and no.
The yes is that the content of the course was great. Okay, when we if we were to think of it as a step ladder, it would be something like the Celta is when I learned how to teach, because I had no idea before that. I was just like trying to pour knowledge all over my students. the delta was when I learned why I was doing all those things, why I had to learn all those things during the CELTA, and how to share them with my colleagues. The MA, no, it was something completely different. It was about doing research. Okay, so for example, my dissertation was course book analysis from a communicative perspective, for example.
That's
So
very
I had,
interesting.
yeah, I can share my dissertation with you if you
I'd
want.
love
I'll email it to you
that.
later.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I came across so many authors I hadn't read before,
Mm-hmm.
and so yes, it was mind blowing, literally,
Mm.
and I learned a lot, and this is and during the second year of the MA, when I was talking about I was doing some work on exploring language speaking environments. This is when I started working with course design. This is exactly when I thought, wow, this is something that I want to do. This is something I'd be interested in. So if it weren't for the MA, I wouldn't be doing some of the work I am at the
I
moment. So
see.
yes, it was good.
You couldn't do this work on the Delta, right?
Ah,
Course design
yeah,
analysis.
you could have during module 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite free. You can choose
You
what
can
you want
choose,
to do.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But back then, it was just not something that I had in
I
mind.
see. Mm-hmm.
And but so yeah. So because okay, I'm not going to say many, but I've got colleagues who recycle their module 3s during the MAs. Okay, because after
Mm.
all, it is an essay. I just wanted to do something completely
Completely different.
different,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
that's what I did. Yeah.